that has been posted for hearing for the 10th of August. That's the big update that's coming in. Till then, no coercive action against the petitioner. That's the big word that's coming in from the court. As an interim measure, no coercive action shall be taken against the petitioner. Siddhant continues to be with us. So Siddhant, big update coming in. One matter has been posted for hearing for the 10th of August, but also as an interim measure, this will be big relief that no coercive action shall be taken against the petitioner here, Nupur Sharma.
Well, that's correct. So there are two major takeaways from today's hearing. One, the matter has been posted for hearing on 10th of August and the copies of the writ petition will be supplied to the respondents. Now, respondents in the matter are the state governments which have filed FIRs against Nupur Sharma. Also, interim relief has been granted to Nupur Sharma. No coercive action shall be taken against the petitioner. So it's a big relief for Nupur Sharma, which she and her lawyers have been trying to get from the Supreme Court, and also court has asked Nupur's lawyer to file one additional affidavit mentioning the two recent threats that have been received by Nupur Sharma. One is obviously of that Pakistani who has been apprehended, and the other one which has been mentioned by Mr. Singh in the court. So these are the three major takeaways in the Supreme Court. The matter has been kept for hearing on 10th of August. Also, Supreme Court, while dictating order and recording submissions, made it very clear that this court on 1st July had asked the petitioner to take the alternative remedy. In support of a plea, the petitioner has averred that after her orders, various incidences including threat, SC notes Chishti's remark wherein he asked for cutting off petitioner's threat. SC also notes the video of another person who abused her and gave life threats. So SC has taken note of all these threats that have been received by Nupur Sharma, and in fact SC has clarified that last time around she was asked to go for another alternative remedy, but since she has been getting the threats and she is not in a state to go to the high courts, respective high courts, for the quashing of FIRs, so this order has been given. Interim relief has been granted to Nupur Sharma against any coercive measure. The matter has also been kept for the another hearing on 10th of August. The writ petition will be given to the respondents in this matter, the state governments, and in fact the additional affidavit has also been asked to be filed by Nupur's lawyer mentioning the two recent threats that she has received. So big relief.
So Siddhant, I'll just request you to stay on with us. So it is a big relief, as we said, for the now suspended spokesperson of the BJP, Nupur Sharma, because essentially there will be no coercive action. The matter has now been posted for the 10th of August. I believe my colleague Anusha is also now joining us from the newsroom. Anusha, could you first talk to us about the big takeaways where the Supreme Court has taken note of the various threats which was part of this plea of Nupur Sharma, and what can we expect from here on?
Well, let's distill down this crucial order that has come from the Supreme Court. As our colleague Ananya reports from the courtroom, I think the major takeaway is that there were multiple FIRs that were being filed in different parts of the country. What is the immediate threat a person in a case like this really faces? That he or she will be summoned by the magistrate or the local thanas repeatedly, and keeping the threats into mind, there was a serious concern for her life. Keeping all of that into mind, the Supreme Court has granted a major relief. Though they have not given a direct order of clubbing of the FIRs together, but they have said no coercive action. That means she can't be summoned anywhere. That means no court or a magistrate, a court really ask her to come there. Police thanas can't do that. The FIRs stay where they were. The second part of it, and it's a rather technical part.
Anusha, I apologize for interrupting. I'll just come back to you in 30 seconds. I believe our colleague Ananya is also now joining us on the broadcast, and he's been getting us these updates from inside the courtroom. Ananya, over to you. Talk to us about what was discussed today and what has the court taken cognizance of today.
Well, yes, definitely a big day for Nupur Sharma. Completely a very, very big relief coming in. In fact, a very, very massive relief coming in for Nupur Sharma, wherein the Supreme Court has in fact granted interim protection to Nupur Sharma until 10th of August. It has clearly said that no coercive action shall be taken against her, and in fact there shall be a stay on the proceedings in all of these FIRs, whether it's in Delhi, whether it's in West Bengal or any other state. In fact, it has also went on to say that there are serious threat to her life. Remember that senior advocate Maninder Singh, who was appearing for Nupur Sharma has clearly pointed out various life threats, including that of the Aligarh, of Salman Chishti, who had given out a serious threat to her life, clearly saying that whoever beheads her can in fact get his house. So now these threats were in fact mentioned before the topmost court of the country. The court took note of this and has now completely asked for a no coercive action against her until the next date of hearing, and it has invited response from all of the states, which include Maharashtra, which include West Bengal, which also includes the national capital, to in fact give out and explore the remedies that she can avail and how she can avail this remedy wherein she won't face a threat to her life. So we are seeing a very big relief coming in for Nupur Sharma. Her advocate, in fact, Justice Suryakant, Justice J.B. Pardiwala, has now paved the way for Nupur Sharma to in fact exercise her legal remedies, to go get bail, go in fact get a quashing done, and in fact she can avail all kinds of reliefs, and she is protected by the Supreme Court until the 10th of August when the Supreme Court hears the matter. But now what is very, very interesting to see is that how the states would respond to this petition, to these in fact remarks, and also what kind of in fact a legal remedy or a recourse the states would suggest the Supreme Court that can be granted to Nupur Sharma, so that there is no threat to her life and she can avail her legal remedies.
Right. Ananya, I'll just request you to stay on with us. So, Anusha, taking on exactly from what Ananya is also pointing out, it is going to be a relief for Nupur Sharma. The FIRs stay where they are. But I want to now understand what next for Nupur Sharma. What are the legal remedies and routes that she can avail at this stage?
See, Ridhima, as Ananya was pointing out, that these are FIRs in multiple states across the country. The clubbing of FIRs is a very ordinary legal process, a relief which is granted to most accused, because the process cannot be used as a punishment against any accused in this country. Even accused have a right to life and liberty, and all those rights are protected by the Supreme Court. An important technical bit that I was earlier talking about, that Article 32 has been invoked to seek this remedy, which means the extraordinary jurisdiction of the Supreme Court of India has been invoked. This means that the petitioners did not go by the usual norms of the CRPC, but have pointed out to the extraordinary threat of life that pervades. Another important point to note forward is that the departure from the earlier tone and tenor of the hearing.
Absolutely.
In the last hearing, there were some very stringent remarks that were made against Nupur Sharma. This time, the judges were very, very limited in the oral observations that they have given out.
Absolutely. That's exactly the question that I wanted to take to Ananya. There is a stark difference because, as I said when I started this show, it is the same bench which is hearing this case once again, which is the bench which had heard the case on the 1st of July. There has been a big difference in the tone and tenor from those scathing observations where they likened what happened in Udaipur to the comments made by Nupur Sharma, thus raising the question that in the first instance itself, was there an overreach?
Well, yes, definitely there has been a change of tone and tenor, but this is not something new. But because there have been a change in the circumstance, there have been more and more threats that have been coming in onto Nupur Sharma. In fact, we saw how Chisti's remarks were very scathing, and in fact he had said that anybody who beheads Nupur Sharma and comes back would get his home. So such remarks, and seeing this situation, such a grave situation, the Supreme Court had to change its ways, Supreme Court had to change its tone and tenor, and now grant this relief. Also, one thing to point out is the Article 32 jurisdiction of the court is not an extraordinary power, but then a very general aspect. It's a normal writ petition aspect which Nupur Sharma had invoked in the first time, and there was no breach of the criminal proceedings that she had done. Apart from this, what is very, very crucial to notice is what the states would say in their response, because the states have been asked to explore the remedies that Nupur Sharma can avail and the way in which she can avail these remedies at a time, and also remembering that she stays protected and nothing happens to her life and liberty, because as Mr. Singh had clearly mentioned before the topmost court of the country, that the Supreme Court is the protector of Article 21, that is the right to life, and hence such a Article 32 jurisdiction was invoked in the first time, and now a modification application was filed before the topmost court of the country seeking a change in its order and asking for a protection which clearly has been granted by a bench of Justice Suryakant and Justice J.B. Pardiwala, saying that there is immense threat to her life, and hence inter agnema protection, interim protection is very, very necessary. That has to be granted to Nupur Sharma. In fact, notices have been issued to various states, and we'll have to wait and watch as to
what
how
the response is